I've been seeing a lot of criticism in regards to Marvel movies lately by individuals who are supposed to be important or legendary characters within the film industry. And each time they voice their opinions, it just seems like they're trashing Marvel for all the wrong reasons. To the Scorseses and Tarantinos of the world, Marvel is leading to the destruction of the art of filmmaking with their massive superhero franchise that is currently dominating the market space of movies. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Scorsese had a moment in 2019 where he stated that Marvel movies weren't cinema and went on to explain his thoughts in a post published by the New York Times. In it, he goes in depth about how Marvel movies are perfectly curated and designed to be easily digestible and understandable to a vast majority of audiences. And because of this, true cinema isn't being created due to the lack of risk-taking involved in the Marvel movie-making process. And I have to agree with him. A majority of the movies that Marvel makes follows a similar formula, leading to the viewer always knowing what they'll get when tuning into a Marvel film. Having an expectation of what the studio will deliver is not inherently a bad thing. But when you start to have repeating character journeys, character arcs that continue longer than they should, narratives that mirror one another, and comedy that turns every character into the same person wearing a different outfit, it can become boring after a while to never be surprised or to virtually eat the same food for each meal every day. So if I agree with him in that regard and have no issue with his criticism on their lack of creativity, then why make this video? Why stand on the side of Marvel instead of the individual creative? Because that isn't his true issue with the studio. Going back to the post, Scorsese mentions how if he were years younger, he would probably enjoy these films as they would be the art of his time.
That if these movies were coming out when I was in my 20s, I would totally be fucking happy and totally love them.
Which is a very insightful take and confuses me even more when he gets into blaming Marvel for people no longer going to the theater to view films. He claims that due to how successful Marvel movies are, they are removing the possibility for other, more artsy and creatively innovative films to thrive in the movie market, stating that in many places around this country and around the world, franchise films are now your primary choice if you want to see something on the big screen. And that is where my issue comes in. While you can lob multiple valid criticisms at Marvel Studios, whether for their lack of creativity or their mistreatment and virtual monopolization of the entire VFX industry, they are not to blame for movie studios being more hesitant to put out films that don't quite fit the mold of what they've already market tested to work. The internet is. Thanks to advancements in technology, content is now more accessible than it's ever been. You have YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, TikTok, and every other streaming platform out there delivering content to you on a near hourly basis. We have algorithms meticulously designed for the sole purpose of learning how our brains work and finding out the best way to serve us the content that we enjoy the most so that they can profit off of our attention. We have the ability to watch new movies mere days after their theatrical release by finding the right website online. With all these options out there that you can access from the comfort of your own home while relaxing in bed, what then is the incentive for someone to go to the movie theater to watch a film that they're ultimately unsure of? Why waste $60 on a movie ticket and snacks and deal with the hassle of watching a film from a crappy seat you bought at the last minute that has you sitting next to some obnoxious person? That is the real death of the movie-going experience. Innovation. And the fact that people now have options. With more and more people fighting for your attention, these big movie studios have to make sure that the risk they take is minimal so that they can maximize their profits. This isn't something that Marvel has invented, which Scorsese himself acknowledges. This is something that has historically existed within the relationship between creator and studio. If anything, the fault would be more with the consumer, as they are less willing to go see a film they're unfamiliar with due to them having so many other options and not really caring about the art of cinema. But that doesn't mean that creativity nor true cinema has died. People like Scorsese and Tarantino would have you believe that Marvel films are the only ones getting made.
They wouldn't be the only movies being made. They would be those movies amongst other movies.
The filmmakers of substance need support. Problem is the amusement park films. They've got real cinema on the run. Where can they be shown if the theaters are taken over by animated pictures, in a sense?
It is something else, and we shouldn't be invaded by it. And so that's a big issue. That's a big issue. And we need the theater owners to step up for that, you see, to allow theaters to show films that are narrative films.
That couldn't be farther from the truth. Whether they get the acclaim or not, films that push the boundaries and force you to look deeper than what's initially presented on the surface are still being made. We have films like Jordan Peele's Nope and Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you want to see a film that'll keep you on your toes with anticipation of what will happen in the next scene, you have films like The Black Phone and Top Gun Maverick. The variety of films being made that meet the criteria of what is and what isn't cinema is truly in abundance, but it's not enough for cinema purists because they aren't getting people to come out the same way Marvel movies do, and that is their true issue. This isn't about the integrity of cinema, nor is it about preserving creativity. All of this just boils down to being jealous of Marvel's ability to bring people out to come see the films in the movie theater and hit these massive billion-dollar box office milestones. It's not Marvel's fault that this is what people come out to see. They're literally just making films that people are enjoying the most right now. If they weren't, people wouldn't sacrifice their time and money to go watch them. And this isn't a case of being served only one thing and wanting more of that one thing, like Scorsese claims. The average Joe doesn't care about the artistic innovation of a film. They only care about being entertained. And that's all this is at the end of the day. Entertainment. You can call it art, you can call it social commentary, you can call it whatever. Its purpose is to help us pass time throughout the day through consumption. Whether that be a 2-hour-long Marvel movie that continues telling the story of this fictional superhero world, or a 3-hour film that dives into the complicated life of an old school gangster. It's all entertainment, which can and will continue to coexist, albeit in different evolving mediums.
There's room for so many others now, and so many other ways, and there's going to be crossovers. Completely.
I won't make a claim as bold as saying that the movie-going experience will completely die at some point, because I just don't know. But I can say without a doubt it won't be what it used to. Movie theaters are already reporting lower and lower turnout numbers, and with each new streaming service that comes out, every new video uploaded to YouTube, every TikTok dance that's created equates to one more nail in the coffin of the movie theater experience. That doesn't mean cinema has to die, it just needs to evolve with the times. Maybe you don't get these massive turnouts to movie theaters like Marvel movies. Maybe you only get a select few who truly appreciate art coming to view these films that are made. Or maybe you change up what cinema can be and start creating pieces that fit within this content-rich era that can be consumed through the internet. However you slice it, true cinema will never die. It'll just evolve with the times like everything and everyone else does. And if we ever do see a disappearance of true cinema, it won't be the fault of giant studios who cater to everyone like Marvel, but rather it'll be the fault of the average Joe who never truly knew its worth in the first place.